Hello, everyone. Yeah, a very good evening to everyone present here. So, today is 25th of November, and this is our live mock interview session. And with me, we have Gargi Giri today. So, let me give you a quick introduction about the session and then we can start. So, my name is Gaurav Kumar Shaw, and I'm Associate Mentor at Geeks4Geeks. And in this session, I will be interviewing a candidate named Gargi Giri. Okay, yeah, just a minute. So, Gargi, are you here? Yeah, hello Gargi. Am I properly audible and visible? Can you please confirm?
Hello, am I audible?
Ah, yes, Gargi, you are properly audible.
So, do
Okay,
I need
so
to give the intro?
can you kindly share your screen with the doc file that I have already given to you? Just take your time. No worries.
Hello.
Yeah, hello Gargi.
Uh, yeah. Do I need to give an intro?
Uh, uh, yes, yes. Can you kindly first share the screen? You will have a present.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yes, and can you go to the doc file?
Yeah.
Yes, very well.
I'm there.
So let me, yeah, sure. Just give me a minute. So, hello everyone. Let me once again begin, and I apologize for the inconvenience caused. So, today is 25th November, and this is a mock interview session. And so, basically, I will be interviewing a student named Gargi Giri. And how is the session going to proceed is that we will be having a proper, if formal round of as an interview, which basically happens during the selection process of various companies. Okay. And meanwhile, I would also like to say that today, since it's Friday, a Black Friday sale is going on in Geeks for Geeks website. So basically, what you can do, you can, if you are buying courses today, you will get a flat 25% discount on all of the courses. So kindly check that out. There are amazing courses on the platform. So let's begin with the interview. So hello, Kargi, how are you?
Yeah. I'm fine.
Okay, give a little bit introduction about yourself.
I'm a second year student of Heritage Institute of Technology, BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering, with a passion for core as well as the code part. So I'm there. Uh, and my skills include C and CPP basics.
Okay, Gargi, very well. Can you say something apart from your CV? Anything interesting about yourself? Any hobbies?
Yeah, I love to read about space science.
Space science. Oh, that's very interesting, Gargi. Okay, so
Yes.
Gargi, I went through your CV and it was mentioned that you are very comfortable with C++ language. So, are you going to use
Actually,
that language for today?
I'm more comfortable with C, and I'm currently learning C++. But
Okay,
more comfortable with C. Uh, Good
okay,
at C++
okay,
basics means the C part of C is a subset of C++ basically. So I can tell that I know that as well.
okay, okay. No worries. Okay, so let's begin with the questions. So I have already shared a document file with you. I will put the first question there. Okay. Yeah, so can you see the question? So let me just explain the question to you. So you have been given an array and the array contains both positive as well as negative numbers. Now your task is to compute the length of the largest subarray with sum 0. So basically in the example you can see that if the input is 8, there are 8 numbers. But you will see that the largest subarray with sum equal to 0 is from minus 2 to 7. That is minus 2, 2, minus 8, 1 and 7. As you can see that part the sum is equal to 0. So you have to return its length. Is the question clear?
Wait 1 second.
Yeah, yeah, take your time. No worries.
Can you explain it once, means?
Yes, yes, sure.
There was an
So
error.
no worries, no worries. So basically, I have already given you an array. So the array contains both positive and negative numbers, and your task is to compute the length of the longest subarray such that the sum is equal to 0 in that subarray. So as you can see, I have already selected a subarray that starts from minus 2 and ends with 7. So that is a subarray. And when you compute the sum of all the numbers, that is minus 2 plus 2 minus 8 plus 1 plus 7, you see the sum is equal to 0. And the length of that subarray is 5. So you have to return 5. Okay. You can see there are very small subarrays also such that the length is equal to 0. But such as the sum is equal to 0, but the length are not the maximum. So you will not output that. You will output that particular subarray in which the length is maximum, the largest subarray. Okay. So
Uh,
how are you going to solve this problem?
Here we have to means I have to first traverse each element one by one of the subarray. Like first 15 will be traversed, then minus 2, then plus 2, minus 8, 7, and so on. And for each element, if the element is less than 0, then I will put a count variable. Means I will put two variables here, or I can use one variable wait uh, means for an element which is lesser than 0, like negative integers minus 2 and minus 8 here, I will use a variable named count, and the count will be increased when a negative integer is traversed. Okay. And for if the element is greater than 0, that is the positive integer, then um, um, I will name another count positive variable, and that will be incremented for every positive integer.
Gargi, I
And
don't
then
think that using a count variable will help because we are not asking to count anything. We are asking you to return the length of the longest subarray such that sum is equal to 0. Maybe you need to check the sum. That is when you are traversing, try to compute the sum of the subarray that you are traversing. And if that
I think
subarray
I'm
is
I think that I will means for I will arrange all the negative integers in one and the positive integer and then sum it up. And
No,
if
no,
the
no.
sum is
You cannot
equals
do
to
that.
zero,
No, no, I'm not asking that. Listen, see, you cannot change the array. Okay, the array
oh,
has been already given to you, and the array stays in that order only. Now, you see that you have to return the length of the longest subarray. Subarray is basically a part of the array which is contiguous in nature, a continuous part of the array, such that the elements in that subarray, the sum is equal to zero. Okay, so if you are arranging the arrays, the number will get distorted. So in that case, we are not sure that whether that particular subarray is the original subarray or not. So we cannot do that. Are you getting?
oh, okay, okay, yes. Uh,
Okay, Gargi, let me give you a hint. What you can do is that, do you know that I will just basically ask you to go across all possible subarrays. Okay, and can you think how can you do? How can you go across all possible subarrays?
yeah, yes, yes. Like in case of merge sort or those things, we divide an array into many sub arrays. That approach we can apply here.
Um, Not exactly. You cannot do that. Okay, let me give you another small hint. Let's say you are standing on the number 15. Okay, so if the number
Okay.
15 is also a part of a subarray, the number 15 and the next number is also a part of the subarray, and the number 15, the next number, and the next number is also a part of subarray. Okay, so you can see when you are standing on the number 15, you can create multiple subarrays. So basically, when you are standing on any number, you will be able to create multiple subarrays, right? So, can you devise a logic in which you can traverse all possible subarrays and check for the given condition as asked in the question?
Yes. Wait once.
Yes, yes, take your time. If you have any question, you can ask me. I will be happy to help. Gargi, I would request you to kindly vocalize whatever you are thinking, so that if you are thinking in a
Yes,
wrong
yes.
approach, I will just guide you there.
Actually, I was first trying to create that a program which will calculate the length of the array with int array and int n. Means n is the size of the array, where where I means I will encounter I will traverse each node and try to sum it up, uh, like uh, like the first element will be the base of that, and then means I will sum it up with the write the next element.
Yes, you are going correct. Go ahead.
Like for I will create
So,
I will start a for loop
hmm.
which will go till the size of the array, and I will create a variable named maybe say some, maybe called some variable which will be incremented after each traversal of each element,
Okay.
which will be incremented and summed up as well with the previous element.
Okay. Very good.
uh, and if and I can means I can check if the sum is going to be zero or not. Means there I can check.
Ah, yes, you
Or
have to check that because the question is asking that only. Then what will you do?
but here I am getting the problem like I am checking from the first element, but for this question the output is the subarray containing the middle elements. So how to avoid the first element means the first element is skipped. This part is creating a confusion.
That is what the question is asking basically. So let's say if you
Yes.
start creating the subarrays from the first element, so you take one loop and create all the subarrays. Then again you use a nested loop to create other subarrays starting from the second element, then the third element. Okay, so this is what I was trying to get from you.
Oh, but
Did you
but if
understand?
yes, but if the subarray for any like for any other example, if the subarray the longest subarray will contain the first element as well, then I will means I'm skipping the first one. What is the condition for that? I'm getting the
Uh,
problem.
no, you cannot skip a first element. Basically, what I told you is that you have to go through all possible subarrays that are possible,
Okay.
and then check whether the sum is zero or not. Okay, that is what I was trying to say. So I almost told you the entire concept. So can you write a small implementation, a pseudocode or anything of this approach?
Yes. This is for the maximum length. I'm writing the code means code for the maximum length. Size of array is n.
Yeah, hello Gargi. I would request you
Yes.
to kindly explain me while you are writing so that
Actually, I'm getting problem after this part. Means they up to this part I had explained earlier, and after this
yes.
I'm
So
getting the problem.
uh, you are trying to get the sum of the numbers, and you are trying to check that whether that sum is equal to what is first, this variable first. What does this indicate?
No, actually I was thinking that if the number is
Yeah. The number, if the sum is equal to zero, then that is
if
a
the sum
valid.
is equal to zero.
Then what should you do? What is the question asking? Think. The question is asking that if the sum is equal to zero, in that case, you have to find the maximum length across all possible. So what operation can you do that will help you store the maximum length?
uh, like traversing each element from the first one, and initializing the array with the first element means pre underscore sum plus equals rri. For the first element, the sum will be the first element itself, and then for the next one it will be added up with the next element. And if the sum of those elements is equals to zero, then I'm going to calculate the size, means that size. But again here that problem is encountering that.
Uh, uh, Gargi, tell me why exactly are you doing max size plus plus? I don't think that it is serving any purpose.
Yes, actually, I want to print the size of the maximum size there. I should increment it before anywhere.
Okay, let's say. Can you tell me what is the first, the whatever subarray you are
One second,
traversing?
one
What is the
second.
first
I
element?
can even increment. It means max size is equals to n. If this pre underscore sum equals to zero, then this max size must be that element in which it is currently working.
Okay.
So I can use a temporary variable count equals to zero, and which will be incremented, and if this is this can be a pseudo code for me. The only lack here is that the it is not creating sub arrays. It is checking for the sum of the array equals to 0 or not, means at which point from the first element. It is not going away from the first element.
Yes, exactly. So basically, your program is using one loop, and with that loop, it is trying to get all the subarrays such that the starting point of the subarray is the first element. Okay,
Yes,
but
means the starting is
Mhm.
fixed, getting fixed, and the end is
Yeah,
variable here. But I want to
yeah.
make the
So,
start also variable.
so how can you do that?
Just
Yeah, your
thinking.
code is partially correct, but what this code will basically run if it happens that the longest subarray, such the starting point is also the first element. But we don't want that. We want that the starting
Yes.
point can be any element. So can you
Yes.
try to modify this concept a little bit such that you are traversing across all possible subarrays?
Hmm. I have to create a variable for the first element as well.
See, in your loop, the variable I was basically traversing across the loop, right? So, and
Yes.
after that, the variable pre-sum was taking the sum from the I equal to 0 to whatever I you are traversing. So, can you do the same concept? But this time, the first element will also be variable. That at the first time you are doing considering the first element, then the second, then the third. So, how can you implement this concept in the form of a code?
Uh, this will also not work. If I decrease the first element from the I, then will it work? Like I minus the pre underscore sum. No, that is a sum. Can you help me just a bit for making it
See,
the first one a temporary a variable?
You are trying to write a nested loop. That is correct. Okay, but
Hmm.
see, if you are trying to write from j equal to n, then you have to think accordingly. Okay. See, okay. What can I say here is that let's say the outside loop basically controls the starting point. Okay, and the inside loop will control all possible subarrays starting from the starting point that the ith loop is controlling. So I will recommend you to write the code in that fashion.
Can you repeat the last line, please?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that what you can do, you can use the outside loop, the I loop, to control the first element of the subarray, and the inside loop to control to traverse the subarray starting from the first element what the ith loop is controlling. Okay, so
Okay. Means now the this is controlled by the jth element, and the I loop should control the first one, right? The element equals to C.
okay, Gargi. we are kind of
Yes.
running short on time. So, can you
Yes.
tell me what exactly can be the time complexity of your approach that you were writing,
Big O of n square.
and why
because
exactly
it
n square?
because means in the worst case this will be big O of n square, as two for loops are working here, one under another. So for the first for loop, the time complexity will be n, and for the other one as well it will be n. So n into n, that will be n square. Means for each pass of the ith one, n j passes are occurring. So
Okay, okay,
in the worst
that's
case it will
good.
be big O of n square.
And what is the space complexity of your code?
Space complexity. Mm, that I cannot tell perfectly. Means
Uh, just think, like, are you using any extra space in your problem?
not exactly. Not using an extra space.
Okay. Gargi. So I am putting the link of this question in the chat box. But since we are running short on time, we'll move to the next question. But you
Okay.
can practice that question after the interview session is over. Okay,
Okay.
I'm putting the link in the chat box.
Thank you.
Uh, it's in the doc file only.
Okay.
Hmm. So let's move to the next question then. So the next question I am putting it in the chat box. Yeah. So can you see the next question? So the question says that you have been given a singly linked list of n nodes. Now your task is to find the middle element of the linked list. For example, if the linked list is starting from 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5, so the middle node will be 3. So you have to output 3. But in case, let's say, if there are even number of nodes, so there will be two middle nodes. So in that case, we'll print the second element. For example, if the linked list starts from 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and then 6, then the middle node will be 3 and 4 both. But according to the condition, you have to print 4, the second element, if in case is uh, if it's even length. So how will you solve this? So let's proceed with this question. Let me give you a example problem also, a sample input output. Yeah. So meanwhile, Gargi is thinking. So there are 70 people with me right now watching this interview session. So in case if you want to have your own interview on the Geeks for Geeks YouTube channel, you can fill the form in the description, and you will be called and you will be assigned a mentor, and we will have a live session of the interview. Okay. So, in case if anyone is in their second year or in their third year who are preparing for internships and placements, yeah, this can be an extremely good opportunity because practicing mock interviews will definitely help you a lot.
Yes, here we can in this case also we can traverse each element and count the total number of nodes, that is n. Here n is the total number of nodes,
Okay.
and again we can run the same linked list for n by 2 number of nodes, or for, this n by 2 will be valid for um, n by 2. Yes, n by 2 will be the middle element. In case of odd number of elements, n plus 1 by 2 will work. When n is even, then n by 2 will be the middle element, and for odd value of n, n plus 1 by 2 will be the middle element.
Yeah, okay, Gargi, you are correct. Can you write a pseudocode explaining your approach? Just assume that you have been given the head or head pointer of the linked list, and now you have to write a code
Yes.
that will basically implement whatever you have said. Gargi, no need to write the struct part of the linked list, just the logic. So,
Okay.
can you explain to me that whenever you are writing the code, just explain it to me what you are doing. This will be better for.
Actually, I have written this for the means for this is for the linked list with n number of nodes. Means this is the linked list traversal code. This will work for any number of nodes, and then means this is just for the printing part of that linked list. And this with this struct node, I've created the data part of each linked list and the link part next of the linked list, which will point towards its address, that is to the next node.
Okay. Basically, how will you calculate the length of the linked list? Means, why are you printing it?
Yes, I will create a variable here. Now the number of nodes are counted by the count variable here.
Okay.
Now I can get the means the count variable will be printed by this count function, printf function. So we I got the total number of nodes here. Now I will print the I will calculate the middle element. Means I can write int mid equals to 0. Mid is equals to this is not n, this is count. Divide 2. I'm writing a middle function, which will basically print the middle element. This one is commented. Yes, I'm. Hello.
Yes, Gargi, can you?
Yes, yes.
You first calculated the length of the linked list by doing a traversal, and then you again traversed, but this time it was length divided by 2. So, okay,
Then
I think
divided by two,
your
and
approach
then
is correct.
I'm again printing the middle element where I'm creating the first node as star head.
Hmm.
Then um, again
I guess due to network issue, the candidate has left the stream. Let's wait for her to join. Meanwhile, I would like to like everyone present in the live stream to kindly check out the Geeks for Geeks website where we are having Black Friday sale, and you can get 25% off on all the courses available there. And I guess there are pretty amazing courses for your preparation of your interview and other stuffs. And meanwhile, if you would like to have your own interview session with the mentors at Geeks for Geeks, you can fill the form in the description of the stream and upload your CV there. And very soon, a member of our team will connect with you, and we can have a live session. This can be extremely great opportunity for all the people who are preparing for their upcoming internships and placements. Let us wait a couple more minutes for Gargi to join. Uh, if she is unable to join, I can just give the feedback and we can conclude this session. Okay, so let us move to the feedback part of the session. So I guess she's unable to join, but this will be recorded and she can get to listen to a feedback. So basically, let me first tell about the preparation level. So as far as what I can judge is that the preparation level of the candidate is not up to the mark, and she needs to prepare well. Okay, we have Gargi here. She has joined the stream. Yeah, hello Gargi. Uh, am
Yes,
I?
should I explain my code?
Gargi, since we are running a bit short on time, so let's keep that on a pause. So basically, the concept that you were writing was correct, and about how to find the middle element of the linked list. Okay, so let's move to the feedback part. So Gargi, since you are in your second year of your study, so basically, what can I make out of this session is that your preparation level is not exactly up to the mark that is required for internships and placements, right? So what I want you to basically do is focus on learning the concepts, learning the language as well. Since you are comfortable with C right now, but I would request you to learn C++ as well, because C++ is an extremely powerful language considering data structures and algorithms. Okay. So basically, yeah. So let me continue with the feedback. Yeah. Apart from that, yeah. So another important factor considering interviews are the communication skills. So whenever you are giving an interview, so try to communicate your thoughts with the interviewer. Okay. So whenever an interviewer throws the question, try to make sure that you have properly understood the question. In case if there is any missing information, try to get it clarified with the interviewer. Let's say if there are certain edge cases you are not able to understand, try to get it sorted with the interviewer just in the beginning. After that, try to explain whatever comes to your mind. It doesn't have to be the most optimized solution. Okay, it can be a very simple, very brute force solution. So this will help you get started with the flow of solving the problem. And after you say the brute force solution, the interviewer will ask you to optimize the solution. And after he says that, so then start optimizing the solution in a much better way. If you are telling a n square approach, then tell a linear approach or an n log n approach. And while you're explaining it, make sure to list down all the data structures and all the algorithms that you are using to solve that question. Okay. And after that, after you explain your approach, never forget to mention the time complexity and the space complexity of your approach both. Okay. And if there are certain interesting facts or interesting observation in that question, to make sure to bring it up to the interview. Okay. So this is the most important, and I think everyone lacks in this regard while dealing with interviews. So make sure this is not this is to improve upon the skill. Apart from that, it may happen that you are stuck in your interviews in the question, you are not able to get the question. So it's completely okay to ask the interviewer that tell about certain hints that may help you to reach the solution faster. Okay, so basically this is actually a very positive sign during interviews, because interviewer judges a candidate based on two factors, like whether the person knows the concept, and if the person doesn't know the concept, how quickly the person can reach to the concept by taking hints. Okay, so if you do not know the question, then if you do not know the answer, then that's okay. But if you can reach to the answer after knowing any hint, after taking the hints, then that is a very good quality interviewer looks in a candidate. So make sure to ask as many hints as possible and try to understand, try to analyze that hint and reach the solution. Okay, so this is the second part. Third part, as I already mentioned, always tell the brute force solution first and then optimize further, and listing down the time and space complexities at every approach. Okay, so this is done. Now, finally, after the question gets over, always ask the interviewer that are you satisfied with my solution? So, is there any way of improvement? Can I optimize it any further? So, if the interviewer may have any ideas of his own, he may share with you. So, this will increase the interaction between the interviewee and the interviewer, which is very important, because you know that during an interview the candidate may get nervous, but having a proper interaction with the interviewer will help you to ease out that discomfort and nervousness, and this will basically prove to be quite productive. Okay, so this is the feedback from my side, and I hope Gargi, when listening to the recording, will get to know this. And meanwhile, all the 34 people who are joined as this live session, kindly subscribe to our channel and like it as well. And if you want your interview to get scheduled with the mentors at Geeks for Geeks, you can just fill the form, and after you fill the form, we will contact you and get your interview scheduled. Okay, you can put your CV as well. This is a very because since you're preparing for your internships, taking mock interview will basically let you know the where you are lacking as a candidate. Okay, because there are certain things which you cannot prepare by yourself. The interview part, you have to take help of others. You have to do a lot of mock interviews. Then only you will get to that level. Okay, yeah. And one more thing, Black Friday sale is also live, and there are very amazing courses on the GFG platform. You can get all of the courses at a flat 25% discount just for today. Okay, I hope everyone can check that out. So we are almost to the end, and so let's conclude the session. And thank you everyone for joining this session, and enjoy. Have a great weekend ahead.